Hey YouTubers, in 1971 in India, the English language version of this Amar Chitra Katha story about Chanakya had a drawing on the front of Chanakya and soldiers in battle around him. And I have used that drawing painting, which is by S. Wairkar. Wairkar died in 2000, I believe 6, I'm not sure, sometime in the early 2000s. This was his first cover for Amar Chitra Katha. If you don't know the story of Chanakya, I think it's a very important story. All Indians do. It's shameful that the West continues to just ignore and bastardize him as a person. But 200 years before Christ, this was one of the greatest military thinkers in the world. He is the man credited with stopping, finally, Alexander the Great, as they say. This is how the story begins. And there you can see Wairkar's name. And the tale is told within. And I've saved this and held it for many, many years. It was my sister's before me. In 1971, I was 4 years old. Wairkar, of course, went on after to do many, many covers as in the stable of the Amar Chitra Katha stories. The beauty of these is that in that dawning era of India's independence, these are published in all the local languages as well. So you have an English version, a Tamil version, Hindi version, versions for every one of the languages in India. So one of the beautiful things about these was the secular India having a book that all children of all the languages could associate with the visuals and know the meaning of the text. A comic book, if you will, but given the translation levels here, pretty deep. So Chanakya, of course, is one of the greatest military strategists in the history of humanity. And sadly and rather pathetically, what has happened is that his thinking, after this stuff, he moved to the forest and he published a book of his own. It is there, written 200 years, as I said, before Christ, all about warfare, what to do, how to negotiate, when and if and how to use torture, when and how to negotiate with people who are your friends, who are your enemies, allies, how to use parts of people, etc., or nations. He creates a complex pattern of theoretical nation states to explain his reasoning. And all of that has been reduced to the enemy of the enemy is my friend. Well, the enemy of the enemy is my friend. He. Canned laughter TV shows. Saw it in a Star Trek movie recently and attributed to a Persian king. No, nonsense. Nonsense. The reduction and bastardization of the complex ideas that this particular South Asian thinker put together into the enemy of the enemy is my friend is dumb. The sentence is wrong. Don't attribute it to anyone, and learn the history is what's going on in the use of this particular piece. So I'd waited for a long time, and I finally got what I wanted to produce with respect to Wairkar, and luckily it has now been collected. So I'm going to show you how that looks. It should make sense. What I want to do is I want to go like this. See, so here you can see what I did. Basically from the cover. And I'm going to get that out of the way so you can see the piece. The piece is called Chanakya Looks to Lao. In it there are elements from all the South Asian countries and Laos. And here he is standing on Madras Beach. That's 35mm print of calves walking on the beach at dawn in India. And he is holding in his hand all the languages of India. There you can see Wairkar's signature in 71. And the piece is meant to represent Pan-Asianism. Chanakya looks to Lao. MTK 2017. What's that on the screen there? Oh yay, gray hair. There's a gray hair. Pretty much everywhere I look now, there's a gray hair.